First Chronicles 24. The groups of the priests. These were the groups of Aaron's sons. Aaron's sons were Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died before their father did. Nadab and Abihu had no sons, so Eleazar and Ithamar served as priests. David separated the tribes of Eleazar and Ithamar into two different groups. He did this so that these groups could do the duties of work they were given to do. David did this with the help of Zadok and Ahimelech. Zadok was a descendant of Eleazar, and Ahimelech was a descendant of Ithamar. There were more leaders from Eleazar's family than from Ithamar's. There were 16 leaders from Eleazar's family, and there were 8 leaders from Ithamar's family. Men who were chosen from each family. They were chosen by throwing lots. Some of the men were chosen to be in charge of the holy place, and other men were chosen to serve as priests. All these men were from the families of Eleazar and Ithamar. Shemaiah, was the secretary. He was Nathaniel's son. Shemaiah was from the tribe of Levi. Shemaiah wrote the names of those descendants. He wrote their names in front of King David and these leaders: Zadok the priest, Ahimelech, and the leaders from the families of the priests and the Levites. Ahimelech was Abiathar's son. Each time they threw the lots, a man was chosen, and Shemaiah wrote down that man's name. So they divided the work among groups of men from the families of Eleazar and Ithamar. The first was Jehoiarib's group. Jehoiarib's, I have no clue, group. The second was Jedaiah's group. The third was Haram's group. The fourth was Seorim's group. The fifth was Malchijah's group. The sixth was Mijamin's group. The seventh was Hakkoz's group. The eighth was Abijah's group. The ninth was Yeshua's group. The 10th was Shechaniah's group. The 11th was Eliashib's group. The 12th was Jachim's group. The 13th was Huppah's group. The 14th was Jishibib's group. The 15th was Bilgah's group. The 16th was Imar's group. The 17th was Hazir's group. The 18th was Haphiz's group. The 19th was Pethahiah's group. The 20th was Jehizekel's group. The 20th was Jachin's group. The 22nd was Gamul's group. The 23rd was Delaiah's group. The 24th was Maaziah's group. These were the groups chosen to serve in the Lord's temple. They obeyed Aaron's rules for serving in the temple. The Lord, the God of Israel, had given them to Aaron. The other Levites. These are the names of the rest of Levi's descendants. Shubael was a descendant of Amram. Jehadiah was the descendant of Shubael. Ishiah was the oldest son of Rehabiah. From the Ishar family group there was Shelomoth. Jahath was a descendant of Shelomoth. Jeriah was the oldest son of Hebron. Amariah was Hebron's second son. Jahaziel was his third son, and Jechamim was his fourth son. Uzziel's son was Micah. Micah's son was Shemir. Ishiah's was Micah's brother. Ishiah's son was Zechariah. Merari's descendants were Mali, Mushi, and Jaaziah, his son. Jaaziah's son of Merari had sons named Shoham, Zakur, and Ibri. Mali's son was Eleazar, but Eliezer did not have sons. Kish's son was Jarhamiel. Mushi's sons were Mali, Eder, and Jeremoth. These are the leaders of the Levite families. They are listed by their families. They were chosen for special jobs by throwing lots, like their relatives, the priests. The priests who were Aaron's descendants. The priests were Aaron's descendants. They threw lots in front of King David, Zadok, Ahimelech, and the leaders of the priests and Levite families. The older families and the younger families were treated the same when their jobs were chosen.